stream. Oh, why is that one looking like that? That is really weird. Um, I don't know why that one's so small. Let me see here. Yep, that's supposed to be the big one. It's not using the big one. Ah, the wrong one has started. Well, that is weird. Um, we'll just have to deal with it. Let's see. Co-host. She. Oh no, Tracy is showing here. Tracy. Uh. Uh. Once I see you go live, I will click co-host, but be sure you turn 18 plus on. Well, clearly I did something wrong because the wrong thing. Sorry, everyone, just getting myself figured out here. Some things are not right, and I don't know what I did wrong. Let's see. I'll have to try and. Yeah, that's not right either. Oh. Hmm. I don't know what I did, but I'm just gonna have to deal with it. That's just gonna have to work. So she's gone. Let's see if I can find her when she goes live. Sorry, everybody. I am definitely rusty and some things are not working the way they should. um, which one? Well, those are all the same. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'll try and see if I can figure it out. Hello, Tony. Hey, William. How are you? Hey, Eric. Jess is okay. She's not feeling the greatest at the moment. Um, sorry, I'm trying to see. Oh, it says not available. Why is she not available? Um, hey, Kim, could you run over to Tracy and see if she turned on 18 plus? Oh, thank you. Hmm. Definitely rusty. First time back since taking time off, and things are not quite working out, but that's okay. Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it, Eric? I'm sort of lost. I'm like trying to figure things out, and I've got some things that are not quite set up right or working, and I don't know what I did wrong. Um, but we'll just go with it. What's that, Tony? What do you mean? Closed and moved. No, well, I'm on. Oh, thank you. That button is easy to hit. How have you been, Eric? Okay, let me see if she is. She still, nope, still says can't do anything. So we're waiting on trying to do a co-host. If all else fails, I can just bring up a box and have her join. That's not a problem. And we could just do it that way. Oh, she's offline now. And we will just make things work. Do what we can with what we got and what brain cells we use or have. Ah, okay. How is everybody doing? Call live? I'm not sure what you mean. Oops. Sure. And well, as long as but if you come up, then she won't be able to. Oh, there she is. Hold on. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me adjust.
Okay, sorry. I clicked on the audio chat live something. I've never seen that before.
That's okay. I have some stuff messed up on my end, so.
I was basically on a phone call, I guess.
Or
I
who are you talking to?
don't
I am
myself.
not
I mean,
live.
literally.
Where is that camera? Let's see here.
I'll tell you. I
My
have
camera is whoa. Okay. Wow, it's been a while, I guess, because I can't figure anything out. Why is that
well,
winking?
that's okay. We had like little mini meltdowns in the last half hour in my house, so
Oh no.
I'm honestly I'm shocked I'm here. Well, yeah. So anyway, moving on. As well as I got a text from a fellow Parky who's really sick right now. And
Oh,
yeah, really sick. And I'm like, oh no.
that's no good.
So no. So and hopefully my audio's okay because I did not even get to think I'm like, oh, audio.
Yeah, that's a good
You ever
question. Let me see.
I need to plug them in, but otherwise I'm in the basement and there's nobody down here, so anyway,
Okay.
so while you're setting up there and we're waiting for some folks to join, how was your holiday, Larry?
Uh, a little bit bumpy, and then started to just sort of level out. It was nice having family. One of the things I always love is going home to see family is they sort of play with the kids and hang out with the kids, and I can just focus on me and deal with my symptoms and try to figure things out. So that's always a nice thing about seeing family.
Very cool. I agree. I agree. And I don't know if you heard, but as of Christmas, we have all of our boys back home now.
Oh boy. Hey
Oh,
Josh,
and
been seeing family but didn't have a computer with me. So I've got one, two, three, maybe four people on this end.
Okay. I've got one. So, hey,
Oh,
we can get started. So, people on my end and people on your end, we may not all know each other. So maybe we should introduce ourselves. I'll
sure.
rock, paper, scissors, you to see who goes
Let's
first.
see.
You
Got some
ready?
dice. Let's see.
Ah, I do, but not down here.
Yeah. Let's see. So if you don't know, my name is Larry. I have dystonia Parkinson's, was diagnosed in 2024. Tremors started late 2020. Um, yeah.
This is for Tony. Tony's on my side.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, or wait, she's got her trigger finger going
That's
over there. So, all right. Sorry to interrupt you. Anything else you want to tell about yourself?
not that I can think of. What are you doing? Sorry, my son. What are you doing?
That's okay.
They're upstairs. By my the cow. Yeah, okay. Brain doesn't always work.
Hey, so my kids are all adults right now. They're all under my roof. Yeah, fun times. Sad story, gang. In case for anybody listening out there, this has nothing to do with Parkinson's or the plan, but nonetheless, I'll relate it to Parkinson's, right? So our son, who just actually moved back home, got laid off or fired today. I'm not sure which one. He got let go this morning.
Oh no.
And so he's been home all day, as my husband put it, dealing with the situation in his way. We have a very clean garage now. But about 30 minutes before this call, he came in and he said, "Hey, has anybody seen my pink hoodie?" And my husband was like, "Yeah, I stuck it in the washer for you." And he was like, "That had my final paycheck in it." So
Oh no.
paycheck has, yes. Nothing like getting fired and then having to
Nothing. Go
oh,
back. Could I please get my
say,
paycheck
"I'm
again?
sorry, but my dad washed my check."
So my dog ate my homework doesn't work. You think my dad washed my check will work?
No. So and then now in the middle of this, right? I'm trying to get dinner started and to pass off. I've been like my timing of my meds have been off all day, right? So right now it's like, woo, I really have Parkinson's brain. So, but that's what happens, right? When we have Parkinson's, is it just life happens,
Yep.
and we just sometimes have to roll. Sometimes we are able to say, "Time out. I can't do that," or "I can't," whatever. But I somebody hi Rebecca. I don't know Rebecca Ricardo. I'm not sure, but if you join, thank you for joining us. But anyway, right? We can't always tap out.
Yeah. Angie says that she's got a garage that needs cleaning.
Well, I have a kid for hire, and he's my OCD kid. So
Is he
anyway, so let me introduce myself now that we've gabbed for a minute. So my name's Tracy. I was diagnosed. I don't like to say that. I am the class of 2018 and
Huh,
I'm
I like
I'm
that.
trying to get kept on, and it's just not working. But anyway, so I'm class of 2018. I am cognitive and fatigue dominant in my Parkinson's. My main motor symptom is bradykinesia. Um, so I just my teeth are yellow, gang. It's because I take the dissolvable tablets, and I just took one right when we got on here. So, um, so to kind of counterbalance for what was going on in my house in the last half an hour, which means by the end of the call, Larry, I'll probably be a little wobbly because I'll be over medicated. But that's okay. So, but I want to, if you don't mind, Larry, I'm going to share with people that you and I both are ambassadors with the Davis Finney Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
So, you want to put a plug in for them? Or I can.
Sure. Yeah, my brain is just
care.
not.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I will stop putting you on the spot. I know
No,
this.
no, please keep doing it because once I may get this brain moving here once in a while.
So yeah, so Larry and I are ambassadors with the Davis Finney Foundation, which means we find our niche to go out into the world and help people with Parkinson's, help loved ones who have loved ones of people with Parkinson's, caregivers, um, public in general. However, we can help them, whether it's just being a friend to listen to, a text buddy, an exercise accountability buddy, uh, something like what we're doing right now, support group calls, whatever the need is that is out there. Hey, Amanda, thanks for joining. So those are just, and I know I've talked to some ambassadors who do a lot of fundraising. Hello, I have a puppy who wants to say hello.
That's the great thing about lives, right? Is you can't try to block everything out. It just doesn't work, so we just roll with it.
Yeah. So.
Bruce said it was okay for him to come down.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. I don't know where he's at, but he's here somewhere. So that's what we do. Anyway, so we wanted to talk tonight a little bit about this guy right here.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's backwards in your thing, but that's okay. It's the Parkinson's Plan, right? A new path to prevention and treatment. Oaken came out in August, and they had another book that came out, I think about 4 or 5 years ago, and about ending Parkinson's. And if you read that book, this book is, or if you're familiar with that book, this book is an update. They've gone through, once they wrote that book, they had a lot more data kind of came to light, and they did more research, and they found that kind of unfortunately, the numbers around Parkinson's are a little bleaker than what was originally kind of thought. What was originally reported. I think one of the statistics that, at least in the Parkinson's community, is that we've been live for about about 12 minutes now, and in that 12 minutes, 2 people in the United States have been diagnosed with Parkinson's. It's about every 6 minutes. Yeah. Hey, Sam. Hey, Lisa. Thanks for joining.
One thing I just did think of, you had mentioned bradykinesia. What is that?
That's slowness of movement. I call it living in the Matrix. So if you remember in the Matrix movie, right, where Neo, like when they would try to shoot him and he would be like, and move like this really, really slow, right? That's bradykinesia.
That is me when we travel. Every time I get in a car, we drive for a few hours. Very slow. Sorry, I didn't mean to get us off sidetracked. My brain's a little slow sometimes. It's like, oh, you know what? We never defined what that was for people who may not know.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's a very slow. I call it the Matrix because I'm a visual person.
I'm gonna start saying that from now on. When I open the car door, I say, "Jess, I'm in the Matrix." So she comes over to help me. She comes over to help me get out of the car and stand up.
Yeah. Or you can say, "Hey, Neo needs some help."
Hey, I like that.
Right? Neo has not taken the red pill yet. The red pill or the blue pill? The pink pill or the orange pill? The yellow pill or the blue pill? Anyway, so we're here to talk about this guy, the Parkinson's Plan. And one of the cool things, I come from the world of telecom, and we are very acronym heavy. I mean, like we in the telecom world. Hey, Jimmy, I'm glad you stopped in. We have our own telecom. In telecom, we have our own acronym and definition dictionary that's about this big, right? So I'm big on acronyms. So PLAN is an acronym for, and so P stands for prevent, L stands for learn, A stands for amplify, and N stands for navigate. So that's how they have framed the plan, is that way. And it's full of just, you guys, the stories in here are just like blow your mind. The level of detail is they're not the book is not like medical. It's not sciency. It is, but it isn't. It's written in very plain speak. Um, there is, and I'm just kind of giving you just a little bit of an overview before we kind of dive into the PLAN. But just to give you guys an idea of the level of research that is in the book, there is like 100 pages, just shy of 100 pages of just of references.
Wow. That is
Yeah.
nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so this whole section right here, that's your references. So yeah, it's got a lot of references in it, a lot of acknowledgments and things. Yeah. Anyway, so it's like I said, it's an acronym, and I'm just going to preview really quick what kind of is under each of the letters, and then maybe we can dive into each of the letters.
Okay.
So P is for prevent, and that's we're talking about things like pesticides, toxins, toxic water. One of the chapters is called An Invisible Cause Inside Your Home. That would be things like radon.
What
Um,
is radon? I know we've got a
uh,
radon machine outside. I don't know if I can remember entirely. I think it's like these invisible particles
it's an invisible
from
gas.
some stuff that's been in like deep in the ground from a long
Mm-hmm.
time. And we've got a
Yep.
machine that sits outside our home that essentially has a pipe that goes underneath the ground and sucks air and pushes it up above the house, which is very
Exactly.
toxic and you can't see it, you can't smell it. The only way to detect it is a radon detector.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. We have them here, and in Colorado, they're pretty. If you buy and sell houses like we do, like my husband and I invest in real estate, yeah, you definitely you know about radon, absolutely.
A lot of people don't
Um,
know they have radon and it
mhm.
causes a huge issue, health
Correct. Yeah,
problems.
and they talk. So yeah. So they talk very specifically about it in here. I thought there was a picture of one in here, but I can't find it. Um, so anyway, so that's kind of the P. That's some of the stuff under the P is really environmental things. Now there is also the last part of that particular one. That particular section talks about the brain's front door, and this is where they talk about the concept of I don't know what Amanda said. Something here. Does my ex-husband count? Sorry, she might be talking to Jimmy. Sorry, guys. I'm into this book right now, so just keep bugging me. Anyway, so the last chapter of the prevent talks actually about um, the brain's front door. So it talks about whether or not we. So they talk about toxins, and then it's like, well, how do these toxins get in our body? And they get in our body either by air or by ingestion. So and oh, I'm sorry, Amanda was talking. Her ex husband is toxic. Okay,
Oh.
got it. All right. Anyway, so then that's where they talk about the concept and the science. Now, remember, everything here is talking about science. Um, uh, about whether or not we ingest it, we drink it, we breathe it, etc. And there is science around the, whether or not Parkinson starts in the brain or it starts in the gut.
Hmm.
So if you consume food that has been grown with pesticides on it, and even if you wash it good, right, you're not going to get it
Yeah.
all off, right? Then you're going to ingest it, and then that's kind of like the gut first theory. Or if you live in, like, there's a story in here. They talk about the statistics in Mexico City, and that was smog, and toxins being breathed in that way. Um, so and so I'm going to move on to the L. Any other thoughts or comments on the P at a high
I
level here?
do not. On my side, they're talking about radon.
Okay. Yeah, radon is. All I have to tell you, folks, is if you don't have a radon thing on your house or you've never been tested, get it tested. It just get it tested, and they're not. I want to say they're not super expensive to get tested. A couple $100s. I realize a lot of people right now don't have that, but I believe in some county, like a county or state level, oftentimes they have programs to do that for you.
Mhm.
I know here in Colorado they do have programs for that, or at least they used to. Oh, I think my puppy is getting into the garbage can.
Oh,
Oh
you're gonna go
no,
off the
honey,
live
just
and have a huge mess.
honey need to go off the live for a second, gang.
You can run over there
Okay,
if you
why
need
don't you
to.
talk about radon there
Okay.
later, Larry?
While she goes and takes care of the mess.
Here, little one.
Yeah, Brad, it would depend probably on where you are too, right? Let me turn this down a little bit. It seems like it's high. Um, but yeah, to install is expensive. But uh, while it's expensive to buy, to have it tested, it's well worth the health health improvements if you find that you do have radon issues. So it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, yeah. We have a one of our rental properties is was built in like 75 or something, in the mid to late 70s. And it when we bought it 10, 12 years ago, we had to have an upgrade or a replace or something. Anyway, I remember something with radon because they came in and did their test and it was, yeah, there's it's low levels, but it's here. And so I think we had it checked and replaced. Yeah. So yeah, Amanda says it's better to get it checked. Yeah, 100%. All right, so let's move on to L, which is learn. And so this is, why. Learn why, the start, the spread, and the progression. And then it talks about what's called the Parkinson's 25, which we can go over at the end. Um, but yeah, so if we know what causes it, now let's learn why um, why it starts, how it spreads, how it progresses, and that whole kind of picture. These are building blocks,
Hmm.
basically, is what they've got here. Is there everything's building upon each other. Um, Let me just turn really quickly into that section. This is where I think that for me personally, the toxins and all that kind of stuff, that was interesting and sad and maddening and all of that. But the kind of more the medical part of it then is in the L part, is in the learn why. And I love it. The that section starts with a quote from Hippocrates. Illnesses do not come upon us out of the blue. They are developed from small daily sins against nature. When enough sins have been accumulated, illnesses will suddenly appear. And if you know anything about Tony says, I think the learning is the hard part. And I agree, Tony, because a lot of people
Thank you for the daily.
don't want to um, learn about it, or they don't know where to look for a reliable source, etc. So, but once you kind of have once you have a little bit of history of Parkinson's, and things like the toxins, have that knowledge of the toxins, then this quote by Hippocrates is like mind blowing to think that he would have said that. I don't know when Hippocrates lived, 1,000 years ago or something. um, anyway, so they talked about the start and why it starts, and here's a quote that I have something I highlighted. Without learning about the why it starts, how can we expect to find out why some suffer and others don't? How can we slow disease progression or find a cure?
Hmm. You have to definitely have to know why, and I think Tony last night was talking about that too, where you really have to know why and how it all starts, how it gets going before you can come up with vaccines and all that kind of stuff and medications and
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can treat symptoms all you want, and that's what we do. I think in today's, in
basically,
our
yeah.
landscape today, Hey, Jess, thanks for joining. Um, but you have to address a root cause, right? I mean, so I come from the world of business and data, right? And I think you do too, right? And if something's wrong, you can always find the answer in the data. You can always find the root cause in the data, right? But with Parkinson's, where do you find the root cause? It's almost like, when was it? What was it they were trying to find? Was it the source of the Nile or it's like, oh no, the source for the Amazon. That's like a big story, right? Like the history of finding the source of the Amazon River, right? And it took them forever to find it or whatever, right? That's kind of like Parkinson's. Parkinson's is the Amazon River, and we need to find the source.
Or multiple sources.
Tony says, yeah, right, exactly. Tony says smallpox was eradicated after they found what caused smallpox. Right, exactly. So anyway, so they talk about the why, they talk about the genes, hereditary, they talk about mad cow, which I'm old enough to remember the mad cow scare. And I think back on it and I think, well, could that be where I got my Parkinson's? I don't know.
Isn't it a small percentage of people are like genes or something like that is what causes it? I think everybody else, it might be environmental or something like that.
Yeah, and they do address that in here, absolutely. Right here it says, an astounding 87% of Americans with Parkinson's disease do not carry mutations in either of the two most common Parkinson's-related genes, the LRRK2 or the GBA.
And I did the Parkinson's Foundation test a year ago, and they didn't find all my genes that we're aware of. Seemed fine. No issues.
You had clean genes? You took
Yeah.
them to the... That means you did not take them to the dry cleaners.
They're fresh. Bought them right from Kmart, brought them home.
They're not toxic. Sorry. If you've read the book, or you're going to read the book, spoiler alert, there's a lot of information about dry cleaners in here. There's like a whole section about dry cleaning in here. But oddly enough, back before I went to telecom, I worked in hospitality. I worked in the hotel business for like 15 years. And I got free dry cleaning. So I never did laundry.
So your jeans are bad? Well, no, because they're always clean, because you never have any issues because you get it free.
They were, but they say that just, they say that you don't have to like live near the dry cleaner. You don't have to live, or work in a place that had a dry cleaner on it, right? That you just, the clothes, and then if you keep them wrapped in the plastic, that once you open the plastic, that it releases, some very, very small, but it does release a level of the toxin, so anyway, so that's the L.
Angie said there's no dry cleaner near her. So she's got dirty jeans. Near her?
Oh.
She's got dirty jeans.
Yeah. Wear dry jeans, says Tony. I apologize. I apologize if there's a little bit of noise in the background, because it wasn't the puppy who was in the garbage can. Oh. I'm in the basement right now, and we have tenants that living in the basement, and it's one of our tenants, but he's deaf, and so he's super quiet.
Oh, he is.
Oh. And so I didn't hear him coming down. I didn't hear him like.
Deaf people are great.
Oh, he's amazing. Yeah. I love him. Which, interestingly enough, total side, this is like a squirrel moment here, but he's trying to produce content for Instagram. And it was fun. I was working with him the other night. Total blast. But anyway, so let's move on. So we have the A. Let's move on to A. A is amplify. Hang on, I've got some. Okay, perfect. Okay, so A is amplify. We need to amplify our voices, right? So let me just turn to that section real quick here. I am just flipping back and forth. Okay, yeah, so we need to amplify our voices. building a more complete Parkinson's universe. This section talks about, let me move there. And when they say a more complete Parkinson's universe, they literally frame this section in the context of our universe. So let me, pink tabs, Tracy. I color coded my tabs, but I can't remember what my colors are.
Uh-oh.
Give myself a Rosetta
You
Stone.
need a cheat sheet.
I know, I do. I totally. Okay, so we need to amplify our voices. And so this section talks about the healthcare system. Now, they don't necessarily just use the United States. They kind of say in general. And they do pull out examples of countries outside of the United States who have kind of figured it out. Like, I think it was the Netherlands. I'm pretty sure it was the Netherlands. But what they use is, if you'll visualize this with me, think of the universe, right? Our universe. We have the sun in the center of the universe. And then we have planets that go out from there. We also have, within our universe, we have satellites that are up there roaming around, right? Tons of satellites. There are asteroids or asteroid fields, either one, right? Whether we have an asteroid field floating kind of wherever, or just asteroids, right, out there. There are stars. And when we think about the universe and exploration of the universe and stuff, we think about NASA or someplace like that, and there's always mission control, right? So we have to have a mission control if we're going to talk about that. And then there is that little stigma of Pluto, right? Too big to be a star, too small to be a planet. He's kind of I call it the enigma stigma, because in the book they call it the stigma. So what they've done is they've taken this model of the universe, and just really quickly, so the patient, well, let me back up. In the model, the medical model that we have today in most first world countries is the doctor or professional would be like the sun at the center, and then everything else kind of floats around it. They're proposing that we need to change this model. We need to make the patient the center of the universe. And then the next planet over is Mercury. They're the closest. And we need to make the caregiver and the people closest, not doctors and things, but like that go-to one person is going to be Mercury. And then our other planets are things like, that's where we're going to have things like therapist, and I'm going to back up. The planets then closer to the sun are going to be things like occupational therapist, physical therapist, social worker, dietitian, speech, right? And this is what they're proposing it should be.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other planets then are going to be things like your neurologist, your pulmonologist, your neurosurgeon, your whatever. And just like the planets revolve around the sun, right? And they twist and whatever it is that they do, because I'm not a space person. I don't know the words, but so those the professionals, I'm going to just call them the professionals, right? Those may change as time goes on. So a person with Parkinson's may be closer to people like the speech therapist and the occupational therapist and the physical therapist, and working closer with them at one point in their journey than they are actually the neurologist or the cardiologist or the, whatever, surgeons, etc. Or that may switch.
There is some of that already starting, and I can't place where I've heard it, but I think a doctor or two have mentioned before that I've seen that in explaining sort of the way that they do things, as they say, the focus is the patient, put the patient first. So there does seem
Yes.
sort of a start to
Yes.
evolve to that. But I love
Yeah.
the
And the
caregiver
caregiver.
part because I think the caregiver is always like a comet, just sort of flying around and just sort of not part of anything. But it is a very important for the caregiver to be close by or there, or how you described it. I forget how you described it, but
No, I agree. And if you think about it too, Mercury being the closest one to the sun, right? We as humans could not occupy Mercury because it is too hot. I mean, it is like too close to the fire, right? And caregivers, I mean, not to put a pun in here, but think about what they say. You hear the term caregiver burnout
mm-hmm.
because they're so close to the source.
Is this a good time to put a little plug in for the caregiver group? Is that appropriate?
Absolutely.
Let's do that because
Absolutely. You do
it's
that.
that's very close to my heart. It's very important for caregivers to have a place to talk with other caregivers, and you have a group that's almost all
Yeah.
caregivers except for you, but you're an ambassador. You
Mhm.
you sort of keep everything quiet and just let them. I don't know how you run the group because nobody can
I do.
go unless you're a caregiver.
Yeah. I do, and we kind of went a little bit for the holidays, but I will be
Sure.
picking that back up in the next few weeks, hopefully. I said January. I'm hoping for January. I just have got a lot of balls in the air right now, but yes. So caregivers are um, uh, very much on my radar. I was my dad's caregiver for 5 years. He passed away last March. He did not have Parkinson's, but he lived with us for 5 years, and we cared for him. And so it is because I've walked the walk. It is something that I'm passionate about. And yeah, so I do have a caregivers group. If anyone is interested, we'd love to have you join us. I am the moderator. However, I basically am like a gate. No, I don't want to say gatekeeper. That's not quite the right word, but I pass along information that I find that is um, from having been a caregiver that I feel is reliable and not just gonna blow smoke. Um, and I do jump on calls with some folks, and I do try to stay quiet. Once in a while, I might speak up and say, "Would you be interested in hearing um, the perspective from the patient's perspective on what it is you're talking about?" Um,
And
so
I
yeah,
think that's good. I think a couple things to me that's important. Don't wait as a caregiver until you have burnout to find a group. It's important to
no,
start early as soon as you can because you need to build those relationships so you feel comfortable talking to other people. Because a lot of people don't feel comfortable, and so you really need to build those
yeah,
relationships. So it's important early. Um,
yeah,
and it is so. I mean, just listening. Heldlight, I think, is what his name is. It is very eye-opening as somebody with Parkinson's, not knowing what caregivers go through. Uh, Listening to
mhm,
that, it is so important for you guys to talk to
yeah,
um,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. His name's Brent.
Okay, Brett.
Um,
Okay.
and yeah, yeah. Just put it in our chat over here, Brent. Yeah. If you're not, it's um, light health light. Oh, somebody
Heldlight, I think,
throw
is
that
what it
in the
is.
chat. Yeah, held light because
Yeah.
it's like
Yep.
holding the
Yep.
light and,
Yep.
and carrying the light or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, held light is. Yeah, so if you're not following held light, please follow him and share him with others. Um, he he's amazing, and he's just kind of okay. Yeah, thank you, Tony. Held light. He's only been online for a couple of months, but he resonates, and I hate to say this, but um, if if a caregiver if you hear them say, "I'm kind, I'm okay," call them out on it.
Because they're not.
Call them out on it because they're not. No, and you don't know from minute to minute. The like we with Parkinson's, we don't know, hour to hour what our bodies are going to do. But conversely, our caregiver doesn't know either.
Mhm.
But the hard part is that we know what's going on inside, because like for me, I don't trimmer. I don't have I don't have a lot of outward um, you can't see it.
Physical
And even
symptoms.
bradykinesia is not, I mean, unless you know you see bradykinesia, it just kind of
Yeah.
looks like, oh, she's just kind of moving slow today. Um, but so
Sorry, got
really
us off on a
just,
tangent, but I thought that was important since
yeah,
we're on the topic.
no, thank you. It's because it's important.
Yeah.
And, and I'll just say one more thing. Having been a caregiver, I know how important it is to be as healthy as possible to be able to give that care. A caregiver cannot do that if they're burned out. And burnt means there's nothing left, right? So we don't even want the fuse lit, because I know I'm always telling my husband, honey, don't do that, honey. Yeah. I need you to take care of you, because in 10 years from now, I'm going to need you. It's not about, you know. So back to our model, back to and this is in the Amplify Our Voices. And so they're building this model, right? So we've got the patient at the center, they're the sun. The caregiver is Mercury. And then we have our planets, which are all of our professionals who are helping us. Now, we also have things out there like satellites that are roaming around. Now, a satellite is a technological wonder, right? And hey, Kim, thank you for joining. And so the satellites represent any technology that is within or applied to or whatever the Parkinson's universe. So I'm going to pitch it to you, Larry, and have you put a plug in because one of the things they're very specific about is wearables. And you are doing Strive PD, is that right?
Yes. Haven't been focusing too much on it lately. Lots of other things going on. But I love Strive PD. It tells me, one of the things that I really love is it shows you, how do I word this? I don't like any sort of wearable or data point. It's not scientifically sound, I guess you would put it, right? It's the Apple Watch is capturing some data and you have it. So I use it as sort of a guide, just like I do with analytics, website analytics, metrics, things like that. I use them as guides. So what am I doing today? How am I doing versus last week, last month? And so it will show me the tremors that I have. Now it's only one hand, right? So it's not two. But what I've done in the past was look and see and sort of add roughly how much tremoring I'm doing versus before. So are meds working? Are they not working? And I also do the Guardian. So they give me a report on slowness and lots of other data points that I can't see. And so you get this little report with some charts. And the Apple Watch, I love it too, because it gives me its own data as well. So to me, I love data because I can take them to the doctor and say, pick what works for you or what you need. But here's sort of what I'm seeing with my data and my health to help them make decisions.
Yeah, exactly. Which is amazing. So thank you for sharing that. It also, the book talks a lot about telemedicine. And having lived in Alaska for almost 20 years, I actually, in my MBA, I did, because I was focused on basically on kind of the world of telecom in my MBA. And my senior project, or my MBA, whatever they call that project thing, was one of the things I did was around telemedicine. And that was 15 years ago, and how they were implementing it in rural areas out there. And so the book talks about a lot about telemedicine and the making it more accessible, and how it lowers cost. One of the parts in here that, and I'll kind of paraphrase this, is that it talked about how on average, for a person with Parkinson's to go to see their movement disorder specialist, it's on average 4 hours. That's travel time, sitting in the waiting room with the doctor, blah, 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 traveling back, whatever it is. But on average, it's 4 hours.
That's about right.
And that's 4 hours for us it can wipe us out for 2 days, for the
Yeah.
next 2 days.
Especially if meds
You
aren't
know?
working very well, depending on the time in meds and all the things that PD causes. Oh, yes.
Yeah. And and all of these things have a dollar figure around them. So that's the satellites, right? Is technology kind of things. Now we also have the asteroids. Now think about asteroids, right? You don't want an asteroid to hit the planet, right? We all watched that Bruce Willis movie where they went up to drill for the
Yep.
destroy the asteroid. What was it?
I do not remember the name. I know
Yeah.
what you're talking about, but I can't think of the name. And
I
nobody
can't
else has
remember.
posted
The guy
yet.
riding the nuke.
Yes. Can we just picture a caregiver
Yippee-ki-yay!
riding the nuke, heading to that, which is heading towards the park?
Yes.
I mean, that would be.
Okay. So in other words, asteroids are like they're barriers. They're the negative thing, right? So they are just access to care, which we just kind of talked about a little bit, right? Transportation, parking, pay. I mean, just anything, any barriers.
Armageddon. Just says Armageddon.
Yes, thank you. That is it. Armageddon. Yes, thank you. I just remember where that guy was pounding on the
Yeah, with a
Russian components, Japanese, whatever, Chinese.
This
all
is
made
what
in
we do in Mother
Taiwan.
Russia. When it starts.
Oh, that was my favorite part in the show. Okay, moving on. Let's keep talking about the plan here because I'm kind of watching our time. I want to try to keep us. Anyway, so those are the asteroids. The mission control. We have to talk about mission control, right? So that's no. I'm going to stop. I'm not going to do mission control. I'm going to hold them to last. We have stars in our universe, right? Now the stars give us light. They give us hope, right? Held light, right? Our caregiver we just talked about. So the stars are things like advocacy groups, support groups, anything that can be a positive. That's that. Now we have to still talk about Pluto. Remember, Pluto's not big enough to be a planet, too small to be a star. So Pluto is the stigmas, which I could go into a lot about the stigmas.
If you don't have tremors, you don't have Parkinson's.
Here,
It's like
let me give you this snake oil.
that too, right?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, okay. Anyway, but then we have to have, so let's talk about mission control just for a second. Let me come back to my cool little picture here. So mission control, this is somebody the coordination of all care. And this is what's extremely fragmented. Now, when I first started talking about this, you had mentioned that you know of some people who are have some models in place to overcome this, and and the book talks about them very specifically about having that there's a couple of, we have what in the United States, I can't remember what they are, but there's a couple of places that are called Parkinson Centers of Excellence. And I know one just opened up somewhere. I can't remember where. But it is a place where all of these disciplines, right, are under one roof, basically, is what it is. And that's that's like a mini universe model of what they're talking about here in the book. So last one, N. N is navigate. And let me go back here to our overview of this one. So, just to end it off really quickly, under amplify is the last little part of it. They do talk about things like the burden and the cost of all of this on society, and the fact that if we keep going the way we are, Parkinson's alone will like bankrupt Social Security. And it gives all the numbers and everything and all of that stuff. So then the last part of it is navigate. Navigate the first frontiers of new treatments. And it opens with a quote by Winston Churchill: "The comeback is always greater than the setback." So while we focus a lot on symptoms, right? We really need to get to that root cause. It opens up, I'll just read this, the very opening paragraph. While we seek to better understand this relentlessly progressive disease, we will need a comprehensive plan to navigate our path towards new treatments. There are 3 treatment frontiers. The first is what we can deploy now. This includes expansion of Parkinson's care universe, along with repurposed drugs, electric stimulation, pumps, and behavioral interventions. All can alleviate symptoms in the near term. There are currently over 10 million people with Parkinson's who may benefit from such a strategy. Because it's sad to think that there are people. Hey, Esther joined. Hey, Esther.
Oh, hello.
Thank you for joining. Yeah, we're glad you are here.
Uh-oh.
I have an alarm going off on my phone.
Yep, it says I am not. There we go. Please
Was
let us
that
know.
you?
Yeah, it says, please let me know you're still here. Yep. I could drag a
Oh.
little.
Okay, we are still here. Yeah. So the second frontier talks about includes new drugs, diets, stem cells, vaccines, and immunotherapies, right? And I don't have the third one readily marked, guys. I'm so sorry for that. And I can't think of what it is. But, it's sad to think that there are still people in. Oh, Esther wants to know what we're talking about. This is what we're talking about, Esther. We're talking about the book. We're talking about the new Bible. What was I saying? Oh, it's sad to think that in 2026, there are still people on this planet who don't have access to a generic yellow pill. It just breaks my heart.
A lot of people.
Yeah. And the fact that, in some areas, it's still considered or looked upon as witchcraft. Is that the right word? And yeah, I'm gonna cry. Oh my God, you guys, it just hit me. And then that there's people who live in our society. I say our society, right? And Western society, or and we have loved ones around us who.
Uncle Parky, it's the Rick. It's the Parkinson's plan. He said the book was backwards. It's flipped, and so he was having a hard time.
I don't know how to turn that around, guys.
So it's the Parkinson's plan.
They were brilliant. Their marketing person was brilliant, making it a red cover. I'm just saying. This is an attention grabber. Let's see. Esther said, and we complain about side effects when some people would do anything to have what we have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Jess says it makes me mad. No, it makes me a mod, and I'll fix it. I'm not. Maybe she meant mom. I'm not sure.
Moderator. I think because she was going to flip the camera, but I didn't know she could do that as a moderator.
I don't know how to make you a moderator. It took me. I forgot to hit video when I started, so I was on a phone call with people.
Yeah, Kim came by and said she's on a call, and I was like, "What? What are you talking about?"
I was on a TikTok phone call. I didn't know you could have a TikTok phone call.
I didn't either.
Oh my gosh. Okay. TikTok is fun, but yeah, Okay, what do we got here? Mods can, okay, so they're talking about moderators. Okay, Esther is talking about, and I won't say her name right. Sonia Mather with Avengers PD is working on an access program. Okay, excellent. I've been watching Dr. Math, I think it's Dr. Mathers, right? And man, if I see her on a video or I hear her, I hit pause and I listen to what that woman says, because yeah, she's I listen 100%. Anyway, so again, just to recap, if you are didn't join us from the beginning, the book is The Parkinson's Plan: A New Path to Prevention and Treatment by Doctors Ray Dorsey and Michael Oken. And they're almost 100 pages of references, right? This is very well researched. PLAN is an acronym. P standing for prevent, and actually and L standing for learn. So we need to prevent. We need to learn more about this. And educate ourselves, and you know, we don't just need to educate ourselves and the people in our community. We need to educate people outside of our community as well. So the A is amplify. We need to make our voices heard. We need to start making changes. And the N is for navigate. And then to kind of wrap it up, because I know we're at the hour, is there's something in here that they introduced called the Parkinson's 25, which, and I'm sorry, I'm not going anything over the conclusion, but they do introduce something called the Parkinson's 25, which is a cool tool. It's out on their website. And these are things that you can do today to help prevent, whether it's the progression, etc. But and these are things that can help you live well today. And I think, Larry, you wanted to maybe say something about
Yep. So if
Davis
you
Finney, because you and I, as Davis Finney Foundation,
let me adjust that. Ambassadors, yeah. So this is if you can't scan this, send a message to either one of us and we will get you a link and get you connected. But this will get you to the Davis Finney Every Victory Counts book. And I think I'm on vacation brain or something because my brain is not working, or maybe I just didn't get started up today. But this is like a really good resource to read. And you could if you could help me as to why. Drawing a blank.
Yeah, absolutely. So Davis Finney's model is about living well today, right? There's, what can you do today to help you live well with your Parkinson's? And so they have 2 books, and Esther just pointed this out, great book and the Caregiver Guide. So there are 2 books that are available, one for patients
and one for caregivers.
And their caregivers, but there's also one specifically for the caregivers, and it's from their perspective and from what they need to have. And it's I got my first book on my very first visit to my MDS. I refer to it, and many people refer to it as the Parkinson's Bible. I tell people who aren't familiar with it that, I ask them, I say, are you familiar with, or do you remember the old encyclopedias that, would collect dust in the back of the library or wherever? It's kind of like that, where it's a source, it's a reference, and not only is it a source or a reference for things like diet, exercise, medication, symptoms, but what I really, really like about it is it gives a combination of perspectives. So it introduces a topic like medication, and it talks a little bit about it, and it kind of gives you that medical in a very layman's term. It talks about the medical part of it, whatever the topic is. And then it gives you both kind of a professional's take on it, as well as a person with Parkinson's. And the book is just full of people with Parkinson's who, they give their little 2 cents worth and their experience or whatever with it. So
absolutely,
that's
and it's free. Doesn't cost anything except a few seconds to fill out a form, and they'll mail you a copy. And I
Yep,
believe
all
you can
they really
get
want is your, yeah.
both versions through this QR code. Um,
Yeah, yeah, you can once you get in there. Once you get in there, you can, and you have a choice of either you can download the PDF, which is cool, and you can stick it right. If you have like a Kindle or a Nook or something like that, you can just stick it right in there as well, and you read them from there. Or they will send you an actual hard copy if you prefer a hard copy.
and,
So
and again, if you can't
Chris,
scan the
you've done
QR
this.
code, reach out. We can send that to you, link to you.
Yeah, yeah, and the website's super simple. If I'm gonna blurt it out, maybe somebody can put it in the chat. It's dpf.org. DPF, Davis Finney Foundation, dpf.org. And any page that Davis Finney just recently redid their website, and it doesn't matter what page you're on. At the very top is a banner. At the very top of every page is a banner, and you will just click on that banner and get. I have a puzzle that just showed up on my screen.
Yep, that's what I had before. It's like, are you still here? That's why you got to drag the thing over it.
Oh. Oh my gosh, how many times do you have to do this? This is like insane.
If you don't get it right where they want you to, then you got to do it. Yeah.
Oh, read the instructions, Tracy. I'm just dragging. I'm just
all the directions the first time. You're just like.
So, okay. So, the last thing I would like to say is, first of all, thank you, Larry, for inviting me to do this because this has been tons of fun. We need to do this later. We need or again. But the other thing is, yeah, God, Parky brain, guys.
I know that's my problem today. It's like I can't get my Jesus going.
You've got it. Well, you know. Okay. Anyway, so sorry, this is backwards, gang. But here's the deal. Starting tomorrow morning, I'm holding book group discussions or discussion groups. I say that backwards all the time. Anyway, that's a Parkinson thing I discovered. Is that you start saying your words backwards. The order of them. But anyway, so starting tomorrow, I am holding discussion groups for the book. You don't have to have the book. Please just join. If anything here sparked, or if you want to, yeah, whatever. Sorry, I need to eat. It's dinner time here.
Oh no.
Anyway, so just really quickly, just recap. So I have starting tomorrow. It'll be a 5-week series. We're going to go through all the 4 letters, PLAN, and then the last one will of course will be the conclusion and the Parkinson's 25 that we'll be talking about. And we will have at the end of each week we'll have a challenge for you to do. And I'll give you a sneak peek into the first week's challenge, and that has something to do with, it's called a chemical audit. A chemical audit is the first week's challenge. And we have two, I'm actually running 2 because I know that people work. And so we have one during the day, that's on Tuesdays, kind of around the lunchtime, late morning, early afternoon. And then we have Thursday evening. And so just DM me if you are interested. I'll get you a link. You do have to register. And I just checked today, Larry. I've got 25 for the daytime and 35 for the nighttime.
Wow, that is great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. And I'll tell you, my absolute ultimate goal with this is, if this, if word gets around, then I'm happy to do it again. But my ultimate goal is to, as I go through the series, is to kind of tweak my outline, and then share the outline. It's like train the trainer, and I have trained the trainer in my background professionally. And so what I'd like to do is get whatever I come up with, my template, into the hands of other advocates and have them present it at their support groups or on their social media or whatever, wherever it is that they do. So that's my ultimate goal. Yeah, Tony said do one, teach one. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that really is my goal with this. So
Great.
yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on and talk about the book. A few people, Baxter and Tony, really enjoyed listening to what's in there. Just looking through. So Uncle Parky Rick was asking some questions. They were talking to him. So, but thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm so glad. Thank you for everyone who joined. We really appreciate it. I know right now, I'll just kind of my closing comment. I know right now, a lot of times, we kind of, we get in our niches and we in our groups and we kind of see the same people over and over, and that's amazing because it just takes one. If we can reach out to one new person each time, then yeah, it's doing it. So hey, Ange and Walter just joined. I'm sorry, we are just getting ready to log off, guys. So
Well,
but
I
anyway,
could stand for a little bit if they want to jump on my side and open up a few boxes.
yeah, I'm happy to. I'm actually
Okay.
happy. I've got a little bit of time.
Okay.
I can.
Oh, I
got
thought
my
you were
husband
hungry to
finished
get some dinner
so
too.
I am hungry, but I mean I'm happy to stick on for another couple
Okay.
minutes. I know Ange just joined, which is great. And thank you for joining. I know she was interested in joining the book, getting the book and joining. So Larry, I've been doing a lot of talking. I will let you talk.
Oh, that's okay. I'm realizing that my brain juices aren't flowing. It's probably been for a few weeks of just focus on disability stuff. And so I think what I need to do is sort of figure out, is this going to continue on? But I also need to find, what do you call it? Things to do throughout the day. And so I can get my juices sort of moving because I'm finding, which is great to sort of relax and focus on me. But it doesn't get the brain moving. And so I need to find like a routine and sort of figure all that stuff out. So,
yeah, exactly. Hey, Teresa. Boy, hey, Teresa, I have not, yeah.
yes, Jess, new routine.
Haven't
Yeah.
talked to you for a while.
So it'll probably be a little
Yeah,
bit for me
couple
to
people.
get my brain going.
Yeah, no. A couple of people on my side have commented about that they've decided to do audiobook, which it is. I guess I should mention that it's available on Amazon, audio or hardback. And if for any reason you can't afford to purchase, if you go out to the website for the Parkinson's plan, dig around in there. I know when they first came out there, they did have a way that you could apply. I guess they have a grant where they can, because they just want to get the word out. They want to. This is to try to help educate people, yeah. So and I get the audiobook thing. I actually have both. I have the audio and the hard copy. Because I have a hard time reading, and it's not because I can't hold it, but it's like what you said, Larry. It's that cognitive of.
Yeah.
I've said
Actually,
that sentence 3 times. What did you
find
say?
for me, the audio doesn't really do me very well. I need something written so I can see, not that I comprehend better, it's just easier for me to sort of pick up. So, like if somebody just sits and talks, I don't know what it is going with my brain, it just doesn't do it. But at least with writing stuff down, I can see, refer back or whatever. But
Yeah, for me, it's the combination. So like here, like all my tabs and notes, and I write in the margins and I highlight everything, right? It's a combination of things. So I'm actually listening while I'm looking at it. Pause, write notes, sticky tabs, whatever. So yeah, it's
Uncle Parky
Oh, and
Rick.
I was gonna mention too that I was thinking I might do, and I don't know. So people, if there's still people who are on the call, I would be curious if you would please in the chat let me know if you, because I know not everybody wants to commit to a 5 week series to go through this book. But I was thinking about maybe just doing lives like this, and but kind of going through it, but a little more informal, just in a live setting. I don't know. What do you think? I'd love to get some feedback.
Would you guys prefer like a Zoom or would you guys that are here prefer alive?
Mm-hmm.
They're
Yeah.
saying love the idea. I'm assuming they mean live.
Okay. Yeah, because so the Zoom, what the Zoom looks like is you do have to register in order to get the link, and we will have and if most people are familiar with Zoom, so it'll be laid out the way I've got it laid out is we'll have some interaction via large group. There will be breakout rooms. Um, where you'll go into breakout rooms where you can actually have discussions with, like a small group, probably about 3, no more than 4 people, to discuss a particular, whatever that question or topic is that we're talking about that day. Um, we will use the chat in Zoom to for some content and interaction. We'll use the emoji feature, possibly the whiteboard, and just Zoom is just different. So,
Uncle Parky Rick had a question on how much do you think AI is going to play in the future in Parkinson's?
I just was studying on that one this afternoon. So give me a second, and I will. It's actually pretty short in here, that section where they
It does talk about.
that.
Look at that.
So, but just really quick while I'm looking this up, there's a lot of folks on my side who are, I think they're mostly saying live. And it's hard for me because of work, available depending on how I feel during the recovery. Oh yeah. Recovery. Andrew's having her foot ankle surgery. I got to scroll back up. Several people had said things about live. Yeah, live. Either one would work, live or otherwise. So, okay. I appreciate that feedback. And you said, Larry, on your side that most people said, yeah, live
Yep,
would.
live.
Okay, so here's the $1,000,000 question. What time of the day? Or do we just, bounce around? Okay.
Good question. I haven't seen anybody post anything yet.
1:35.
It's
Okay,
probably
so
because lives are a little easy and Zoom can be a little bit challenging, maybe.
it can be, yeah. Zoom is designed for
Yeah.
an agenda, right?
Yep.
Log on time. You got your agenda.
The
I'm
da-
not saying that you couldn't come late, but
the
where
downside
live
with
is just
lives, though, is you never know who's going to show up.
you don't, and that's not a bad thing.
Tony
Not a
says if
bad
you
thing.
build it, they'll show up.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, build it, they will come. Okay, so let's see. I read a whole thing about AI in here, guys. If I can't find it quickly, that just means you're going to have to come to the thing, and as we talk about it. Okay. Oh, AI. Here we go. I remembered. I wrote AI in the margin right there. AI. Can you see that? AI.
Yes.
Probably backward. Okay. It's
Looks
very
like
small.
IA.
Oh my goodness. I'll just read this because this is now there's a little bit of AI kind of smattered through here, but I'll just read it really quickly to answer your question for the person who asked there. AI could potentially help to fill in some gaps. And gaps meaning, the whole universe that we were talking about, the universe. Just really quick to recap, if you weren't on the call earlier, the model is in the book that is presented is that the overall landscape would be for cohesiveness of care would be that the patient is the sun, caregiver is Mercury, they're the closest to it. All the planets equal all of your, like your medical and your professionals and things, your therapies and stuff. And then we have technology, that's the satellites. So that's what we're talking about here with mission control, somebody who's going to, gatekeep everything and et cetera. So AI would fall under technologies. But here, this is just quickly, AI could potentially help to fill the gaps. Imagine a system where a spouse, care partner, family, or friend inputs regular symptom-specific and preventative care data into an automated system that is capable of providing both recommendations and care referrals, all with the touch of a button. Ideally, the solution will include a real person provided by an insurance provider, but the best way to achieve that investment would be to prove the concept works by starting with something more cost-effective and sustainable. As we imagine what care coordinators, this mission control, could or will look like in the near future, navigators and AI will both have the potential to improve outcomes. So that's under the section they're talking about navigators being that single point of contact, part of the mission control. But as a side note, just last week, because I'm not working anymore, and that's pretty new for me. Oh, I'm sorry, just really quickly. Angie said lives will get new people that might get the book. Very good point.
Yeah, Tony was saying that the people may not know about the book or anything like that, and if you do lives, they may find out about it. And
Right, and I've been doing a lot of advertising for the discussion series, but maybe I need to do some that just maybe just talk about little snippets of little sections. So I appreciate your guys' feedback. You have no idea. You want to do something, but a lot of times it's like I don't know what to do. Okay, what was I talking about? Navigate. Oh, AI in care of Parkinson. So I just did this last week. I'm new to not working, and I've been trying to kind of, like you said, Larry, kind of, what's the new what's this new environment going to look like? It's what what am I going to do? So I actually went to AI and I said, okay, AI, here's kind of what I have on my plate, right? I'm doing these things advocacy wise. You have access, and I'm religious about putting everything in my schedule, in my calendar. And AI has access to my calendar. I said, so you have access to my calendar, but what I'm having problems doing is fitting in the exercise. Now, I'm doing the exercises, but it's not it's not a consistent time. And I'd like to be a little more routine, because I have read recently, science tells us that that regularity of the schedule and things is super important for our brains. And so I told AI, I said, okay, here's what I'm doing for my exercise. I told it, here's all the equipment, because I have a gym in my basement. So I said, here's all the equipment I have. And I do go to one water aerobics class a week. I do that. Here's the time and day of that. I said, and here's my preferred, what I prefer to do for exercise. And here's my goals for exercise and all that. And you have my calendar. And I said, now help me figure it out. And it did.
AI can be great with answering questions and lots of things. One thing to keep in mind, though, if you're going to ask it questions, and especially about Parkinson's related medication, it can be wrong. So don't use it as fact.
Trust but verify. Trust but verify. You're a military person. Trust but verify. My husband, who jumped out of airplanes, trust that guy packed your parachute right, but verify. So yeah, 100%.
Tony says AI is making her schedule too and planning her life.
Yeah. So yep, and the thing that I was finding is I was like, okay, I need so much cardio, so much weight, so much this, so much that, and I was like, oh crap, it's Thursday, I haven't done any yoga for the week, right? And so that's where I said, please help me out. And and the nice thing about it is, because it now put all that into my schedule, right? Because my husband was always scheduling things on top of when I was wanting to work out, but he didn't know I was wanting to work out because it wasn't in the calendar. Not his fault. So yeah, AI, I like to say AI is our friend.
Until it decides to take us over. Tony, what did we call ChatGPT? I can't remember.
Oh, I'm a Gemini girl, so I don't
Are
know.
you?
Rarely do I use ChatGPT.
Skynet. Yeah, we call it Skynet. Skynet
Oh,
says.
yeah.
Skynet told me this is what I should be doing today.
Did you ever see that movie Eagle Eye
I'm not
with
sure.
Shia LaBeouf?
I don't think so.
Shia
Or I'm
LaBeouf,
just not
and he
remembering.
had a twin. His twin was in the Air Force, and he was like the guardian of this big eye. You'd like that movie.
Mm.
Yeah, it's one of those Big Brothers everywhere kind of thing. But so, all right. Well, it's almost 6:30 on my side, gang. I gotta go get some dinner.
Have
But
a good one.
thank you again
Thank
for
you.
joining. We got to do this again, Larry. This was totally fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and there was a lot of recommendations about the definitely for the book, I got a little bit of feedback on my side of just kind of mix it up, daytime, evening time, kind of deal. So yeah, so look for that in the future after I get done with this series that we're on now. Absolutely. So.
Cool. It was great chatting with you and bringing the information. Talk about the
Yeah.
book.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited. This is good stuff. These guys are, and they have like their own medical practices,
Wow.
and are involved in research. I don't think these guys sleep while they're writing a book. So, all right, gang, I'm gonna